Sam, commiserations. What do you make your team's performance today?
Weak, soft. Like I said, probably said quite a few times, different types of bravery to want to play, bravery to have the ball and show for your teammates when you've got it, bravery to want to run around and fight and scrap. Did I see a lot of it? Probably from 2 or 3. And I've been probably felt that way for weeks, to be honest. 2 or 3, it's not enough. And look, the fans are different class. They moan, might get on my back, whatever that is, and I understand why, because they're frustrated. The chairman's different class. But until the players want to stand up and fight and scrap and be brave and take the ball, I've just stood in there for 10 minutes, never said a word, just listened to what they've got to say. And all I hear is excuses.
You say all you've heard is excuses. What have the players been saying to you in there?
Well, it's not really to say what the individuals are actually saying, but it's just a general. It's quite well. It's not funny, but one week it's one thing, the next week it's something else. The next time you have a game, it's something else. Next time you train, it's something else. But I just said to them one thing really. Go and look in the mirror and you tell me and tell everyone else, are you giving everything that you've got? Jordan Burrow, every time he plays, every time he trains, and there's 3 or 4 more in there that you'd say exactly the same thing about. But we've got 20 odd players here, 20 odd players that are on good money, 20 odd players that are well looked after by the chairman, by the football club, by the secretary, by the staff. You think that you're trying to give them everything that they need to set them up to go out and run around on a football pitch and enjoy what you do. If you're not enjoying it, fight hard and scrap, and at some point you will start enjoying it again. And I'm disappointed, I'm frustrated, because I'm a proud man. I've been involved in football since I was a little kid and been involved in professional football for 20 odd years. And the one thing that I always did was pride myself on fighting and scrapping and trying every single day, whatever it was that I did. Well, we got 20 odd players. Are they really doing that? Not really. I seen a video the other day of one of our players in an airport at 7:30 in the morning with a pint of lager in his hand. Little things like this. Is that good enough? I went on a team bus the other week. We're on his way to a game. One of the players is sat on the bus with a packet of Doritos before a game, and I'm getting stick and shouted at and screamed at by the fans, and I understand that because I'm proud and I want to do well for them. I want to do well for the chairman. I want to do well for everyone who's involved with the football club, including all you lot. And I'm not saying that because I'm sucking eggs or anything like that. I want to do well. I want to do well because it's a really good club with really good people involved in it. But until it's no one else's fault but the players. There's no one else to blame. All right, you can aim it at me because I'm the manager as well. Yeah, I understand all that. But football's football. By all accounts, I was told in the past that some of the old managers that were here didn't do it, didn't treat them with respect, didn't do it professionally, didn't do this and do that. It's just excuses. Go out there and play. I've played under managers who weren't the best coaches, who weren't the best man manager. At the end of the day, it's what you do when you go out there on the grass that matters. And I'm sick of hearing excuses. So, there you go.
What you're basically saying is the players have got to take personal responsibility and not looking for excuses.
Well, it's easy. It's easy to hide in that dressing room. When it really matters is when you're out there on the pitch in front of, I don't know how many fans were there today, 2,000, 3,000. If you can't do it in front of that, we've got some serious problems. So I have to find lads who can. Or if I'm not here, someone else has to find lads who can. Like I say, lads who are really well looked after by a football club that is different class. And I'm really proud to be manager of this club, but I won't be proud of a team unless they can do the things that I actually want them to do. And if it's me, if it's somebody else, they'll say exactly the same things. It won't change. Everyone who stood here in front of yourselves will have said exactly the same thing time and time again for the last God knows how many years. So there's one common denominator in it all, and that's what you see out there when you watch them play. Some of them want to have a go, and a lot of them don't, and that's a big problem.
You look pretty emotional. You don't want to accept anything. that these players are doing, quite rightly, because they've, as you mentioned, they're not just let you down,
Yeah.
they're letting the supporters down, and let's be honest, they've let down 2 or 3 previous managers as well at times.
That's it. It's as simple as that. You know, I'm emotional, I'm upset, I'm angry. I'm stood in there with my 2 mates who I've known for 10 years, and they know what I was like and I know what they were like. I see my mate the other week when the fan come on and he's fuming at Altrincham, I have to grab hold of a supporter to keep him away from me. That's someone who I've known for 10 years, and he knows what I'm like and I know what he's like, and we'll fight and we'll scrap, and we might be limited ability-wise as a coach or a player or whatever it is. He might be the same as a physio, Stuart exactly the same, and do you know what we are? We're honest, and we work hard every single day. And if I have to hold my hands up and say that I'm not good enough, then I'll do that. If the players have to hold their hands up and say that they're not good enough, will they do that? Not a chance. Not a chance.
Where do you go from here? So Harrogate Town next week, and that's, with all respect, there aren't going to be many people expecting your side to get a result at Harrogate, are there?
Yeah. Well, that's probably where we will go and play well. You know what I mean? And we've seen that before. We've seen that more than enough times before. Went to Kidderminster the other week, played well. It's these type of games where you're going away and it's raining and the pitch is a bit heavy and you need to have a bit of big heart, you know, walk out on the pitch and puff your chest out. Dunny's stood behind me now, who I've known for years. And when he was at Huddersfield at the time, the fans absolutely loved him. And do you know why? Because they knew every time he walked off that pitch, he had given everything that he'd got. And that's all the fans want to see. I've said this so many times about you might give a pass away, you might concede a goal, and it'll happen at times. And I've been on the end of that numerous times as a centre-back. But the fans still stuck by me because they knew I was giving everything that I got. And if I made a mistake, I'd hold my hands up. Are we doing that? Are some of them doing that? I've seen players hiding today. Too many.
That was going to be my next question, because you forget about the attitude, but does it frustrate you as well, or how much does it frustrate you? Because clearly it does. That the same players seem to be making the same mistakes. The goals are both come down from the right-hand side again, as one of them did on Tuesday night.
Yeah, the goals are terrible. The goals are terrible. I mean, one of them comes from a throwing down the line. We don't want to go and head the ball away first and foremost. We turn away, which you can't do. And then, I don't know, without actually seeing it again, what happened after that. We could have cleared it. And then they end up crossing the ball in the back of the net and score at the far post. So, like I say, there's plenty of players here on really good money at a really good club, and they're probably 50%, 60%. It's not acceptable.
You've given, as you quite rightly say, basically every single player you could do. You've given them a chance while you were here.
Yeah.
Do you now have to make some big decisions and maybe drop some of the players that have played the majority of games for you, that you seem to have trusted so far for that next week? So that's maybe the only way you're going to get through to them.
I've done it before. I'm not afraid of that. Don't matter who it is. If you've been here 3 years, if you've been here 5 years, 10 years, if you've been here a month, if you're 17 years old, it makes no difference to me. I try to keep the ones in the team who I think are giving you everything that they've got. I said that when I spoke to you the other day. We got 4 or 5 that are, and if I have to change it, tough. I'll change it round until I get lads who can stand up and fight and do the things that we spoke about. Forget about the football for now. It's all about you're in a bit of a battle. And I know, with 3 games unbeaten prior to this, but we got away with it a little bit as well, even in the 3 games. Probably Kidderminster, we were fine, you know. And I'm not stupid. I understand that. But I won't accept that. I won't accept it at all.
One final question from me. How much does it frustrate you as well that it seems to be maybe that some of these players aren't up for the fight, they're not up for the battle? Because the teams that are getting results against York City, let's be honest, they're not world beaters, are they? That's
just what football's all about. You know, you watch Man City and Chelsea game kicking off at 5:30. You guarantee that there's world-class players on 200, 300 grand a week, and that game will be frantic in terms of working hard, trying to get the better of who you're playing against. And yeah, they are unbelievably talented football players, but they work and they fight and they scrap. And when you listen to Guardiola when he does his interviews before a game and after a game, that is the first thing that he says before anything else. He doesn't say about an unbelievable bit of skill or a shot from 40 yards out that goes in the top corner. He speaks about players who want to work hard. there you go. That's at that level, not this level, which is what, 6th tier. So I'll put a team out there that want to do that, and if we get beat, we'll walk off the pitch and go, all right then, but at least we've given everything that we've got. And if some of them can't do that, or some of them who want to do it Monday to Friday, but not on a Saturday, tough, you won't play for me again.